Hey there, folks. Welcome to week 3 for this month. We are working on this tune, New Slang by the Shins. I wanted to do a quick review today. It's week 3, actually. I was just thinking about it, and I think I wanted to focus a little bit on vocals. We'll do a quick review of all the technique up so far. We'll go over that riff that we got into last week. And then we'll start to talk about how to push a little bit in terms of technique if we're looking to improve, if we're looking to for a little bit more of a challenge, right? So let's go ahead and start off reminding ourselves of what our rhythms are. For reference, our handout is here. And remember, we want to have our handouts handy whenever we do kind of forget what our rhythms look like. So we got 2 different rhythms, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and our second line is down, down, up, down, up. Only thing we need now is the combination, 1, 2, and down, down, up. So the half measure, right? 2 beats and then the 4 beats, right? 1, 2, ready, here we go. First line and into our second line. Here we go. Down, down, up, down, up. And then we do our split measure. Here we go. 1, 2, and down, down, up, down, up. Last one, and we finish on 1. Cool. Remember our chords A minor, C, F, and G. And then we really want to make sure that we know them in terms of our chord progressions. All right. Let's get to our chord progressions now. Tight. I want to just make sure this is available for me. Yeah. Okay, cool. There's our chord progression there. 1, 2, ready, here we go. And then 1, 2, and F. C and G. C and F. First ending. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Give it a try from the top with lyrics. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Gold teeth and the curse of the stone. Full measure, C to G, all in my mouth. 4 counts here. Only I don't know how they got out here. Repeat. Turn me back into bed. Good. And then I was when we met. Second ending. Happier than with no mindset. 2 measures of G into the chorus. It turns C to me like A, F, and C. It takes to the wind. I might have jumped. Second line. In my tree and all F and C. Repeat 3 times. Like the king of the ice soars till the rest of All right, so quick review of all of the elements there. Remember, being able to move between those is not really just about knowing it's 2 counts and then 4 counts. It's kind of hearing that moment, right? You kind of hear that quick change to C and then to F. Quick change to C and then G. And then quick change to C and then F if we're in our first ending, right? I really want you guys to understand that being able to link, your movements with what your ears are hearing, that's our most important job. Before anything else, if I can't hear what it is I'm supposed to do and then start to connect all of the technique and the muscle memory to that sort of to that line that I'm creating, by imagining the sound. If I can't do that, then it's really, really difficult, because then it's all just recall. You're trying to remember, you're trying to recollect, right? And that analytical part of our brain that's in charge of that, it actually sort of impedes our muscle memory. Remember, what we're trying to do is develop this connection between sound and movement. And so try and hear each of the progressions before you play them, right? All right, let's review that little melodic riff that we learned how to play at the end of the last class, right? Which is 0, 2, 3, right? Cool. Remember, 0, 2, 3, 0, ring finger here. Then I play E, A, E, open E, and now this low note, 2nd fret, and then 3rd fret, and I walk down 0, 2, 0, back to 3, now 0. I'll go to 2nd ending, and then up to 5, and then to that 3, right? And remember, when we land on that 3, we strum through our chords. All right, let's talk about that ending there, because I think I might have got cut short last week when we were discussing it. What we do when we roll through that C chord and start the rhythm, 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and, which is the first half of the measure. Then on beat 3, I strum a C. Beat 4, I strum a G before going into the verse. Gold teeth and the curse of this time. Cool? So I'll go ahead and play that melodic line, 2nd rotation, which is 2nd ending. Right? 2, 3, walk down. 2nd ending. Reach 5, and then roll through this chord. Strum. And then remember, first half, 1, 2, and down on C, down on G, and then gold teeth and the curse of this time. All right, let's see if we can try that. So opening riff, and then we'll try and go through verse 1 into chorus 1, and we'll stop there. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 0, 2, 3, open to the 3rd fret. Beautiful. And then 3rd fret here. 3rd, 2, 3. You know, I'm actually kind of going through this class right now, and I'm realizing that I might not have discussed this the last class. This might have been my plan for week 3. So let me check the YouTube video here real quick. Just make sure. I'll go to my sources. View, not my channel. Create. Upload video. Close that. Content. Let's see. This would be intermediate. No, beginner intermediate. Not week 1. I want to go week 2. Beginner intermediate week 2. All right, let's see what we discussed at the end of the video here. I'm just going to skip ahead real quick. Yeah, I did go over it. I just wanted to be sure because I was feeling just a little unsure of myself that we had discussed that in the last video. So if we hadn't gone over it, then I wanted to be sure that I gave it its due time. Okay, cool. So let's play that. Let's start again where we were. We'll play the opening phrase. The 2nd rotation of this riff, and then 2, 3, walk down. 2nd ending. Reach 5, roll through the chord, down, up, down, up. 1, half, play C, play G, and gold teeth, and the curse of this time. We're all in my mouth, only I don't know how. They got out here to turn me back into the past. Good. I was when we met. Beautiful. And 2nd angle. Happier than with cool. So yeah, that was just a remember what we're using this for is an intro to the tune, and then also you can kind of use it as an outro, right? I really like riffs like this because they serve as kind of the bookends to songs often. You can play this at the very end. I mean, at the very beginning to get you into the tune, and then for the rest of our lives would fare well, and then you can kind of end the song this way. Right? And then now what I would do at the very end of this is start to slow it down. And then you can end on that C chord. Yeah, a little bit of a retardando, which is kind of a slow down in the tempo, can actually telegraph that you're ending the tune, right? For the listener, just slow the feel down a little bit, right? Okay, cool. In terms of content, that's it for the beginner arrangement. Like I said, from this week and moving forward, we're really just going to be pushing into the intermediate arrangement and just deciding on some things that can aid us in progressing a little bit more if we're looking for a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, let's take a look at... Well, let's focus a little bit on singing and playing. I think that was what I really wanted to make sure that I touched on, and I'm trying to get better about it as we move through. Get better about it as like trying to touch on it at least once a month. Like spend 1 week that's focused on singing and playing, because I often think this is like the most often overlooked element, is being able to sing and play. All right, remember these little red letters, they appear only on each section once, right? So for our opening verse, we can see that the chords are written there, but then once you go down to verse 2, there are no chord changes that are written in the sheet. Here's the chorus, right? We can hear the chord changes. So oftentimes what I like to do before, if I'm having trouble with a certain line or a certain section, is just take the ukulele out of my hands and see if I can tap the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 3, 4, C, 2, F. Now remember, these aren't going to get all the same beats, right? A minor is going to get 4 counts, C is going to get 2 counts, and then F is going to get 4 counts, right? So just make sure that you're aware of that some of these, like the C's before the F, the C before the G, the C before the F, those are going to get 2 counts, right? All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, tapping the tempo out. Gold teeth and a curse for this town. 2, 3, 4. We're all in my mouth. Do you hear how mouth there, that G is kind of placed a little bit independent of that? Now, one thing that you really want to point out is that whenever you're tapping tempo like this, really try and get good at creating the accent. And what I mean by the accent is make sure that you can hear the difference between the first beat and the rest of them. So rather than trying to play the first one really, really loud, try and think, just play it a little louder and just back off on all the other ones. So when I'm counting here, it's like 1, 2, 3, and 1. Right? If you can hit that accent, then what's going to happen is your body is going to start to teach itself that that's the mile marker. That's what you're trying to shoot for when you're hitting these lines. And you noticed on that rotation, I didn't really sing the melody. I just said it. It's a really good strategy if you're having trouble with a vocal line, is don't think about melody. Just think about the cadence, right? Gold teeth and a curse for this town, right? 2, 3, 4. We're all in my mouth. 2, 3, only I don't know how. 2, 3, 4, out, dear. Good. Awesome. Let's see if we can sing it a little bit this time. I'm going to tap the ukulele and then we can go to strums. 2, 3, 4. Gold teeth and a curse for this town. Good. Are all in my mouth. 2, 3, 4. I don't know how. 2, 3. They got out, dear. Turn me back into the pet. Good. I was when we met. I was happier then. Nice. With no mindset. Another measure of G. Awesome. This time I'm going to play the chords. If you want to, you can just strum. But remember, really try and hit that cadence. I mean that accent where the chord changes would be or on each strung beat, right? So that means if it's a 6-beat measure, you're going to play 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2 from the top. Here we go. Gold teeth and a curse for this town were all in my mouth. Only I don't know how they got out there. So turn me back into the past. Good. C to G. I was when we met. I was happy then. Beautiful. With no mindset. Good. This time I'm going to go to the rhythm. If you want to, you can go quarter notes, but this time let's see if we can integrate our left hand, hear those chord changes against the melodic line. 2, 3, 4. Gold teeth and a curse for this town. We're all in my mouth. Only I don't know how they got out there. Turn me back into the past. It was when we met. Second ending. I was happy then with no mindset. All right, now that we've got a little bit of that in our body, I know that this is not written out, but let's see if we can try verse 2. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, a little less. 2, 3, 4. Slang, when you notice the stripes of the dirt in your fries. Hope it's right when you die. Holding lonely. Nice. And remember, that is going to feel the same as when we go into verse 3. Godspeed, all the bakers of dawn. 2, 3, 4. May they all cut their thumbs, right? We're kind of finding the cadence, the sort of rhythmic maneuvering through our rhythm. And this is a really great way to build difficulty into that, right? Tapping your tempo first, strumming just quarter notes or tapping your ukulele, and then eventually getting into just the rhythm, right? Remember, harmonic changes often will indicate and help guide you through your singing. But remember, that doesn't always work because a lot of times what happens is the melody is a little less attached to those harmonic changes and kind of like the cadence of what the rhythm is doing. It can be a little, separated and a little bit more flowing on its own. That's kind of how I feel about the chorus melody, which is like a little harder because you're holding G for so long, you kind of sometimes lose yourself. So remember, always tap these, be able to feel where they hit and when the cycle of the rhythm is actually going to repeat. Cool. So if you took, now remember, there have been 2 G's from the measure before, so this is going to be quite a big set. With no mind, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, and if you took 2, 3, to me like a 1, 2, C to the wind, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we can try that tapping. 2, 3, when you took to me like a F, go C to the wind, 2, 3. Well, I'd have jumped from my trees and I'd have danced like the king of the ice source till the rest of our lives would fare very well. I keep saying very well. That's sort of how I learned it, but rest of our lives would have fared well. So you kind of hold on that fared. Is there a very well? Is one of the verses? Yeah. No. Fared well. Chorus 2. Fared well. Chorus 3. Yeah, I guess I learned it wrong when I learned how to do this tune. All right, cool. Let's see if we can take it to the ukulele. You can either tap, strum quarter notes, but let's not add the chords right now. 1, 2, ready. If you took to me, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it. I'm going to help out a little bit with the harmony, just so we can focus on this. 2, 3. If you took to me like a gold takes to the wind, well, I'd have jumped from my trees and I'd have danced like the king of the ice source, and the rest of our life would have I'll do the rhythm. Remember, try to keep the quarter notes. Do something simple if this is still feeling like a little bit of a struggle. 1, 2, 3. If you talk to me like gold takes to the wind, well, out of jump my trees and out of dance like the king of the ice sword, and the rest of our lives would have fared well. New slang. Now that we've got that focused a little bit more, let's see if we can try a verse into a chorus. And I'm going to go ahead and play through the riff. You can join me if you want. Go with second ending. Here we go, C and G. Bum, bum, rolling teeth and a curse for the sky. We're all in the now. Only I don't know how they got out here. Turn me back into the pit I was when we met. I was happy then with no mindset. Chorus. And if you talk to me like gold takes to the wind, well, out of jump from my trees and out of dance like the king of the ice swords, and the rest of our lives were fared well. Cool. All right. Remember, singing and playing is really a big jump up in terms of difficulty because we're adding one more element, right? You know, it's like 1 + 1 = 2, but sometimes 1 + 2 doesn't equal 3. It feels like it's 5, right? Because we're trying to do two things at once when we integrate that third, it can feel a little bit kind of exponential in terms of difficulty, right? We feel like, oh, I can kind of hold it together. Oh, that strum doesn't jump when I make those chord switches. But then as soon as we start singing, all of it will fall apart. You know, it's like I always make that analogy of juggling, right? If you can't juggle two balls really, really well and automatically, then chances are you're probably going to drop them all when somebody throws a third ball in there, and that can oftentimes that's what it feels like when you try to sing on top of strumming and playing chords. All right, let's see if we can. What do we want to do? I think what we want to do is start to talk about. Let's step up in difficulty. So what I want to try to do first. Let's see, how much time do we have? We can probably only integrate one of these things. So I think in terms of the melodic line, what I want to start to do is introduce chords inside of our melody. So what you'll find is if that we play this very first melody note, this A, the harmony that actually happens is an A minor. And if you notice when I play an A minor, if I start at the top string and just drop through the strings with a roll like this, then what I end up with is my melody note right at the bottom, which is sort of highlighting it. Our ear is drawn to it because it's the highest note, and it's the last note we hear, right? If I was to play this drop through and play the E string as my last note, then it would kind of change the quality of this chord. It'd be sort of highlighting a different note. And if I drop through and stopped on the C string, same idea. So now what I want to do is try and use that to my ability or my advantage here to start to integrate chords into my melodic line. So first note is A, and then I play 2, and then I switch to 3 for my next melody note. Now if I play A minor, roll, and then I pick 2, and then I roll through 3, right? And then I can pick the open A for my next note, and now this chord here is an F chord. So if I play an F like this, only difference is that my melody note is actually a G, the 3rd fret on the E string. Now, if I take my thumb and roll through, stopping on the A string and only playing through the E string with that melody note there, then I get kind of that F chord mixed with that melody note, and now I can play the rest of the melody. So I roll through E, my thumb is on A, and then I play A, and then I play E. Roll, A, E. Cool? So just to review, I've got A minor for my first melody note. I play my second melody note. I shift into a C chord for my third, right? And then I pick my open A. I play an F, but I'm actually adding the third fret on the E string. See how I'm doing that? That means my pointer finger actually doesn't have to be there. So I gotta kind of learn this funky shape, 2-0-3, right? Then I roll through 3. Make sure I stop on that E, on that A string and not play it. And then I pick it and go back up to E. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to a C chord, and then I'm gonna do a focused roll. Same thing, I'm gonna roll to the E string and not play the A, and now I hear this last note, right? Because my melody note ended there. It's right there. Cool? So let's see if we're gonna review. A minor, pick 2, roll through 3, C chord, and then I play the open A, this funky chord shape. It's like an incomplete F or a modified F. Roll through E, pick A, back to E, and now I go to a C chord, but now see how I'm rolling there. Stopping, right? Because I'm trying to highlight that melodic note. Cool? One more time. 2, 3, 4. I roll here. Second fret, C chord. Good. Open A, funky F, roll A, E. Now roll inside of a C chord. Beautiful. Last time, roll A minor, pick 2, roll through a C chord, open A, modified F, roll E, A, E, and then roll E inside of a C chord. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is switch to a G chord. Actually, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there for now. I think this week I really want you to work on just trying to play that opening. But you can kind of hear how what we're doing is we're combining harmony with melody, right? Our first melody note is here, open A, and we're just combining it with an A minor chord. I play that note by itself. Now that's my next melody note, but it's also in a C chord. And then here, we kind of have to modify the chord a lot. That F gets changed for that last little bit. And now here I'm playing a C chord. Only difference is I'm focusing my target, right? I'm trying to target that E string when I do it. One more time, all together. 1, 2, ready, here we go. We go roll, we pick 2, roll 3, open, modified F, roll A, pick, and then roll E. Beautiful. One more time. Good. Beautiful. Last time. Roll, pick, roll. Good. Open A, and then roll E, A, E string, and then there. Cool, so we'll end it this week. And remember, this is really if you're looking for a challenge. What you'll find is playing that simple melody line on its own, it really is fun. It engages both hands, but you can kind of hear how it doesn't have the rest of the music behind it. Really, that is specifically melody, absent of rhythm and harmony. And so that's what we're trying to integrate. A little bit of harmony just to make it sound a little bigger. Right? Give it a little bit more of that punch and starting to step into a style of playing called solo playing or chord melody, whatever you want to call it. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. Week 4 is going to be our last week for this tune. We'll be trying to solidify the rest of that intro riff along with adding those chords. And then we'll talk about a few different things you can do for rhythm to jump into that intermediate arrangement if you're looking for more of a challenge. Yeah, thanks again for jumping into UClab, and we'll see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.